Welcome to the Law Office of Brian Fagan podcast, where we empower Texas families through knowledge and compassion. In today's episode, Navigating Dallas, Matching Your Crisis to the Right Resource, we're addressing a question we hear constantly. With all the government resources available in Dallas, where exactly should a family start? Dallas has an extensive safety net built to catch families in crisis, but accessing it is deeply confusing because those resources are split across three completely different levels of government. This diagram shows how the system is actually structured. You have the City of Dallas, Dallas County, and the State of Texas, with your family sitting right in the middle of that overlap. The bottom layer is the City of Dallas. They handle local ordinances, zoning, and municipal issues like traffic tickets, but they do not have jurisdiction over complex family law disputes. In a crisis, the hardest part is knowing who handles what. If you go to the wrong agency, you end up wasting critical time when your family is at its most vulnerable. At the top level, you have the State of Texas. They manage massive funding infrastructure like Medicaid, but you cannot walk into a state office to file your local divorce papers. That leaves the middle layer. The vast majority of family law matters, divorces, custody disputes, and local support orders, are handled right here at the Dallas County level. Specifically, the George Allen Courts Building in downtown Dallas serves as the main hub for these county-level family procedures. Using these county resources offer a clear benefit. They give you access to essential procedural tools and financial safety nets at zero cost. But you must understand exactly what you're getting. These entities provide procedural infrastructure. They do not offer strategic advocacy or personalized representation. Let's look at the first major resource you'll likely encounter: the Dallas County District Clerk's Office and their self-help center. This table breaks down what each resource actually does. For the district clerk, the inputs are straightforward. They provide free filing guidelines, access to public records, and they assign your court dates. The outcome is basic access to the legal system without filing fees. You get your foot in the door. The massive limitation: court clerks are legally prohibited from giving legal advice. They cannot tell you what to do. That means they will stamp your forms and file them, but they offer zero strategic guidance on what you should actually write in those forms to protect your family and your assets. Next, we have to look at child support and family services, which are heavily managed by the Texas Office of the Attorney General. Looking back at our table, the input here involves opening a case with the OAG to establish or modify your child support. The outcome can be highly effective. You get free establishment of a support order, payment processing, and enforcement if the other parent stops paying. But there is a hidden trade-off. By law, the Attorney General's office represents the financial interests of the state of Texas. They do not represent you or the other parent. Their procedures are highly standardized. If you have a complex custody dispute, self-employment income, or non-standard financial structures, that rigidity can severely work against you. The OAG is a powerful collection agency, but utilizing them means sacrificing personalized legal strategy tailored to your unique family dynamics. Beyond the courts, families in transition often need immediate physical and financial stabilization. This is where Texas Health and Human Services comes in. For HHS, the inputs involve applying for programs like SNAP, TANF, Medicaid, or housing assistance. The outcome is vital: temporary stabilization. The trade-off is surviving rigorous documentation requirements and often lengthy waiting periods to receive that aid. You also have local community support services, Dallas domestic violence shelters, mental health programs, and legal aid nonprofits. These organizations provide immediate physical safety and emotional triage, but they operate under massive wait lists and strict income limits. Because of those strict limits, a parent making a modest salary might earn out of qualifying for free legal aid long before they can actually afford a private attorney. If you are exploring governmental resources in Dallas, Texas, and want to understand how they affect your legal situation, visit brianfagan.com or schedule a confidential consultation with our team. All of these systems operate independently, but they intersect. Interacting with government aid can inadvertently trigger severe legal consequences that require a defense strategy. For example, a CPS investigation or simply applying for state financial aid while separated from your spouse triggers mandatory state protocols. The state will often initiate a lawsuit against the other parent for reimbursement. Once that happens, you completely lose control over the timeline. The legal machinery is now operating on your family, whether you are ready for it or not. To decide when to handle it yourself versus when to hire a lawyer, we plot legal complexity from low to high on the vertical axis and level of conflict from amicable to contested on the horizontal axis. If you are in the bottom left quadrant, meaning low complexity and low conflict, you might just need basic food assistance, or you have a perfectly amicable support setup with your ex. In this scenario, government resources are sufficient. It is completely fine to rely only on the Dallas safety net if your situation is strictly administrative and there is no active conflict to manage. But we need to look at the top right quadrant. High conflict, high complexity. This is the danger zone. Here you find contested custody battles, disputed financial support, active CPS involvement, or the need for protective orders. In these scenarios, private representation is strictly necessary. A private lawyer is the only entity in the entire system legally obligated to advocate solely for your rights and your desired outcome. The law office of Brian Fagan can serve as your guide. We can harmonize these local Dallas resources with an expert, protective legal strategy. Please subscribe to the podcast, share this episode, visit our website, and call 281-810-9760. Thank you for listening to the Law Office of Brian Fagan podcast, where families find freedom and peace of mind through education and expert care. For more information or to schedule your free consultation, visit our website or call 281-810-9760 today.